Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fantasy Sports and Politics. It's Mr. FSP, doing what I do because I do it for you all day, every day. Uh, you know, as we wait for my co-host who is not here right now, I wanted to speak about your viewing options. As you know, TV has gone from having 3 to 4 channels to cable channels to satellite to a stick, smart apps on your TV, Sling and Disney. I need y'all to get y'all stuff together. I'm not going back to satellite. I was a satellite junkie for a while, but Sling, you and Disney, I'm put the onus on Disney because I know y'all want that money. I need y'all to get y'all stuff together because as of today, October 1st, 2022, Sling no longer carries any Disney products. That is to include ESPN, ESPN News, ESPN 1, ESPN 2, ESPNU, any like the Southeastern Conference Network. They don't carry any Disney products to include Nickelodeon and things of that nature. So I need y'all to work that out. I understand it's a money grab. I really do. But try Jesus. Not me. Don't try me. I got this shirt on for a reason. Last week was a little out of control, but it's cool. Smooth and romance. I was about to do some Fresh Prince, but decided not to. Try Jesus, not me. Fix that stuff, Disney. Fix that stuff, Sling. And I'll bring the old man in who he got the nice fedora on, but if he act the fool again today, I don't know what we're going to do. But let me change the way he's viewed. I won't have seen minuscule just yet. But JT, what's going on?
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
So is this the new look? I just want to make sure because I like it. But is this the new look, the fedora? I know you want to smile. I like it. It covers that bald dome of yours, but it makes you look like you know what you're talking about. It makes you look like
I do. I do know what I'm talking about.
Well, that's debatable.
I do. Yeah. Never mind. I'm not going. You know what? Let me tell you something. This show is going to be
level.
I'm not going to let you get to me.
I didn't get to you. You got to yourself last week. I had nothing.
Oh, no.
I wore a shirt just for you. Try Jesus, not me. You don't want that drama. But this week 4 in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes, this is the first quarter of the NFL season. 4 quarters. Then the playoffs and so forth are the Super Bowl. Are overtime. So 4 games in, and how can I say this? Christian McCaffrey is Christianing McCaffrey. He's going to put it out there.
You know what?
Wait. I'm not finished.
Yeah.
Hold your thought. Hold your thought on that.
Because you're sadly mistaken. But go ahead.
Calm down. Christian McCaffrey is Christianing McCaffrey. Justin Herbert, who everyone, including myself, said was going to make that big step. Apparently, his offensive line don't care. Apparently not. Loses his left tackle, all-star guy. No, and he's dealing with cracked cartilage in his ribs. He's got to do that for the rest of the season. Keenan Allen in. Might be out this game too. Can't guard Mike. Well, the bench can guard him because he's not playing. He took that trip to London, though.
Party time.
my point is this, ladies and gentlemen. If you had thoughts about your fantasy draft and said, hey, like me, oh, I didn't get to the Russell Wilson. Russell ain't cooking. Russell ain't even making oodles and noodles. He ain't even balling the water yet. But that's not his fault. Hold up. That's not his fault. I get it. We want to talk about all these issues when the games come up. We're going to talk about all these issues when the games come up. You know why? Because there's a spread on each game. Last week, Las Vegas took the Jacksonville Chargers game off the board one full day. One full day before the game. Herbert was a legit game time decision, and it didn't help because who won the game? Jackson. I'm telling you, probably one of the best games of this week or weekend is going to be Jacksonville at Philly. I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I think Jacksonville is for real, and we'll get to that, but that's not the top story. But JT, don't talk about the individuals just yet till we get to the games. But what you got to say?
Well, I put out a text in the chat.
Not in our chat because you're not talking.
Can I finish? Can I finish?
Remember, level. Try Jesus.
Yeah, but you jumped in my conversation before I was even done.
Try Jesus, not me. Go ahead.
You jumped in my conversation before I even was done.
Just go.
Well, no, just go. It's just the fact that you just jumped in, just wanted to interject before I had a chat.
I did. I admit I did. Now go. Go ahead.
I put it in the chat. And this is what I said. I said, guys are dropping like flies, which is happening. The players, all different players, doesn't make a difference what position. They're all dropping like flies. Just good luck this week. That's what I have to say to some fantasy football players. Guys are dropping like flies. Hope you made some contingency plans and have some backup plans in place because that's the case. This is only week 4, and there's a lot of good players, good fantasy players that are not playing today. So you got to adjust, and hopefully the fantasy gods get you a win. Let me put it that way. And 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'll be on the master plan. Now, there's going to be one game before that I won't cover. I'll probably cover this today because of the fact it's not happening. It's not going to be a topic of the show. It'll be ongoing as I come on at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday morning.
Okay, so when we get to that game, you can go ahead and break it down the way you would on the master plan. I'll probably save that game for last just so it'll be a smoother transition. Okay. Because the expectation will be that you're going to talk about the rest of the games the same way you talk about that game. So I'll save that game for last. Al, he's on here. He wants to say hi. He wants to talk about, he wants us to hear talk about the spreads of these games. And Vegas has a spread. Yahoo, ESPN has a spread. Which spread are we looking at, JT, for our games today?
I'll be looking at the ESPN spread.
All right. Again, they're different than Caesars or whatever else is out in the desert, but they're pretty close, within a half a point or so.
Yes.
And I will tell you, there are a couple games that I'm like, you're giving me 6.5 points on this? I'm taking it. But this is fantasy sports and politics, babies. This is how we do. What I did not do and I should have done is share the link to this program in the group chat that Jerry doesn't participate in. So whatever he said he posted, he didn't post it in our group. And I know he has something to say about trades that have taken place.
I don't have anything to say about trades. You guys fight that out yourself. I could care less.
He says that. He doesn't mean that. But
I could care less. That's a fact. I could care less.
Okay. Well,
you don't think for me. I'm thinking for myself, and I'm saying
somebody got to. Somebody got to. So
no, nobody's got. Nobody's
we
got.
We got to go to the first game. Now, people are saying this is going to be the biggest margin.
Don't even go there.
Excuse me. People are saying this is going to be the biggest margin in this week's matchups. I don't think it's going to be. Truthfully, I think it's going to be a blowout. We're going to get to that game. Al, we'll get to that game. I was asking what I think the possibilities. Jags can stun Philly. I already said I think the Jags. Well, I didn't say the Jags are going to win, but I think it's going to be a very good game. Baltimore hosts Buffalo. Now, Buffalo coming off that heartbreak loss to Miami in Miami. Now they travel up I-95 or coming from Buffalo down 95 to Big Trust, Baltimore, where they still haven't found out who's going to be their main receiver, where they still haven't found out what their running game is going to be. J.K. Dobbins ran the ball, I think, like 6 times, 7 times, something like that. Didn't get much traction. So, JT, what's the spread in this game? And let's talk about it.
All right, Buffalo's favored by 3, and the over/under looks like it's 51.
51 points.
Yeah.
Now, let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. 51 points in an NFL game is doable, especially with a high-powered offense such as Buffalo. And the way Ken Dorsey was mad and upset at the end of that game, I thought it was Jerry. All over again. It looked just like Jerry.
Come on. I can identify with that.
I know.
Identify with that.
We got the video to prove it.
You know why? And I'll tell you, you know why?
Oh, Jesus.
Just let it. I'm just keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100 because Josh Allen.
Why don't you look at the camera? Look at the camera when you do it.
Because Josh Allen, just like someone else I know, should have known better. That's all I gotta say. He should have known better. He should have known better.
He's supposed to throw it to. So here's the thing you should have said. Isaiah.
No. It ain't what I should have said. This is what I said.
I know what you said. But what I'm telling you,
known better.
And what I'm telling you is, he threw to the correct person. The person should have known to get out of bounds instead of making a juke move to try to get an extra yard. That's the difference in there, because that extra juke move cost him that second he needed to spike the ball.
Well, let me
juke move was the thing that caused him. But
let me put it one. Let me take it back one step, and maybe you weren't looking at it like that. I was looking at it like that.
Of course you were.
The quarterback has control of the ball and where he throws it and who he throws it to.
Correct.
So he put that wide receiver in a position that far inside in the field to cause him to try to get to the sideline in time.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. That's a play call that Dorsey gave.
Oh no!
Now, listen. I'm about to support you. If you be quiet, I'm gonna support you.
It's the quarterback's decision.
But if you be quiet, let me support you. Okay.
You can say it a different way.
He threw it to the right man, but I can agree with you. He could have waited for McKenzie to clear a little bit more towards the sideline. Now, had he did that, maybe, just maybe, he wouldn't have to make the juke move to try to get closer and whatnot. But also, here's the other question. Did he have enough time to wait and hold the ball that extra second to wait for McKenzie to clear maybe 3 or 4 yards. We don't know, but let's talk about Baltimore. Let's talk about Baltimore at Buffalo because there's a run game problem in Buffalo right now. I believe Singletary or Moss is a little nicked up. And 51 points, and they're favored by 6, right? 6 and 9.
It really doesn't make a difference because they're a passing team. They're a passing team.
No, I got it. But at some point, they may have to run for the first time, and you don't want to keep putting Josh Allen in the crosshairs of a Baltimore defense that's like, man, last time we were on the field, we let somebody come back and beat us by 20.
And let me interject this real quick, okay? Buffalo has not one, not two,
I think I said this
three running backs out there. Three running backs that they can use, and one they can use running the football, and also he's really can catch a football. James Cook. So if they're worried about Devin Singletary, James Cook is going to get some run. If they're worried about Zach Moss, James Cook is going to get some run.
You see that weather forecast? Listen, I can agree that even in the rain, Buffalo's going to throw the ball, but in Baltimore, Maryland, in the bank, Baltimore needs to find their running game.
Good luck.
I agree with you. But if they find their run game in the rain, it might be a little bit more difficult for Buffalo to pass the ball around. And I know Dorsey wants to. He comes from that high-powered offense where he had Jeremy Shockey in the University of Miami, where he had Andre Johnson, where he had all these other great athletes.
Pass catchers,
you see what I'm saying? So his game planning is around that type of play. I don't want to spend too much more time on it.
Well, but I want to just say this.
Go ahead.
Buffalo is used to working in inclement weather. Whether it's cold, rain, because it's Buffalo up in the northern part of the country. It's Buffalo. So they're used to dealing with inclement weather, whether it doesn't make a difference, whether it doesn't make a difference. I'll put it that way. Baltimore, on the other hand, now they brought their main running back back. And their main running back is coming off ACL, MCL. I got an issue with Baltimore relying on J.K. Dobbins because they're probably going to ramp up his work because he just came back last week and got a taste of the game. Now they're going to ramp up his work. Are they going to ramp up his work in a bad weather game? Oh, man.
I think so.
Oh,
I really think so.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because they need to establish their run game one way or the other.
Good luck with that.
And if they don't, I'm sorry to say it, I don't care what Lamar stats say right now. But if you don't establish that run game to help that passing game throughout the season, people saying, okay, well, he made an extra $30 million in the last couple weeks because of his arm. But what's their record? What's their record? Because Bisciotti is going to say this.
2-1.
Yes. For now. That's my point. For now.
They've only played 3 games, so.
Listen what I'm saying. Bisciotti is going to say, great, you got all these wonderful scores and all this other stuff, but did we make the playoffs? Did we advance in the playoffs? Did we go to the Super Bowl? Did we win the Super Bowl? All the things that Joe Flacco did in the same situation.
Yeah, but you got to understand. You got to understand something. And I know we got to move on from this game to get because of the time. You got Deshaun Watson. You got Josh Allen. You got Kyler Murray. You got who else is the $200 million man? What is it? Matthew Stafford, I guess.
Stafford, Rodgers.
Yeah, the point I'm making is, how many guys have won a Super Bowl out of those quarterbacks? Stafford and Rodgers. Josh Allen hasn't. Deshaun Watson hasn't. Kyler Murray hasn't. Lamar Jackson hasn't. But they're all over $200 million in the bank. That's the going rate, man. That is the going rate.
I would say
top flight quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely right, because we saw this when they put in the new structure some time ago for draftees, because draftees, some folks don't remember, but a draftee was making more money than vets who have been in the league for 7-10 years. Now that structure's in place, whereas a rookie contract is so limited, but on the back end now, the vets are getting those big contracts, and when those rookies come out of their like third year of their contract and they've done pretty well, now they're going to get that $200-something million deal. But are they worth it? Is the question?
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right, but that's the going rate right now.
No, I get you. I get it. I got it. I understand. But in this matchup, I don't think Lamar's going to find a passing game. I don't think they're going to find their big run game, even though Buffalo is still down some players that are key to their defense. They're putting, check this out, and we're going to move on after this. I'm picking Buffalo, by the way. They're putting I think a third or fourth round pick that's 6'8", 340 pounds at left tackle to stop Von Miller. A rookie, 6'8", 340 pound left tackle.
Good luck in handling that smoke.
That my point exactly. So even if you do try to pass the ball, how much time is Lamar gonna have? And then if he escapes the pocket, Buffalo can hit.
Yep.
Matt Milano ain't no joke.
Nope.
Don't think. Hey, I'm not a Buffalo Bills fan, but I like Buffalo.
I like Buffalo, and the fact is, and we happen to have them, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. The Baltimore defense is hot garbage. Ain't good at all. Good at all. They are hot garbage. They have to outscore their opponent. They're hot garbage.
What's up, Sam?
Especially the backside is horrible.
Listen, I can agree. I didn't anticipate that, thinking that they were going to be better. It says Jerry speaks. Yeah, because Jerry don't speak in the chat.
Nope, not speaking.
Well, let's move on to the next game. Also, like I said, I think it's going to be a blowout. The 51 points, I don't think it's going to be 51 points. I think this game is going to be more of a 28-13. 28-13.
I see you guys trying to goad me, but it ain't happening. It ain't happening in that chat. So it is what it is. You guys just keep chattering, and I'll just sit back and laugh about what's being said about me or someone else. I could care less.
Well, I'm gonna try to get you to say something.
It ain't gonna happen. It's not happening. No matter what or how close I come, it's not happening.
We must attack his integrity and everything else in order to get him to say something.
You can attack. You won't get me to say anything.
Okay.
You won't get me to say anything. I just let you go, guys. Go. I said, okay. Go.
Well, let's see if I can attack you right now. Okay. Let's go to the next game. Now, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of injuries and people losing players, Myles Garrett.
He wants to play. You got to protect the player from himself.
He's cited for reckless driving.
Yep.
If you saw the pictures of the way that car was,
yeah.
I'm telling you, he's lucky to be alive.
Yep.
Along with his passenger.
I think it was a female too. I
don't know.
I caught a glimpse. They showed being attended to. I showed in the background with a glimpse of him. Another.
We'll talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown when we get to Detroit.
Attended to. I think it was the passenger, and I saw the bottom extremity, and it looked like.
I'll be right back. Go ahead, keep going.
Looked like it was a female. So it may have been a female. I don't know. I can't say for sure. I haven't seen any reports that came out to say whether it was a female or not. But to my knowledge, for what I've seen, it was probably a female. So, and he was going too fast for wherever he was at. Obviously, he lost control.
Yeah,
and he was. I think he was in it. Was he in a car or an SUV?
it was a car.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah,
He must have been going. I mean, because usually in an SUV, it's easier to lose control than in a car.
well, speaking of losing control, Cleveland has Atlanta, who's trying to gain control.
Yeah,
They're traveling down to the ATL.
Yeah.
Now, this, I will admit, is a very wide receiver friendly matchup.
Really,
Excuse me?
really.
I think so.
You think so?
However, I think you're going to see the tight ends receive more love than the receivers. Here's a secret, ladies and gentlemen. What's the spread on this game, JT?
-1, and the over under is 47.5.
-1 for Cleveland, the way better team. Yeah. But here's some facts that you probably don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Marcus Mariota has been like top 5 of the mobile quarterbacks in the past 3 weeks. Drake London has scored in double digits every week since, well, it's only 3 weeks, but since the season began. We still got hope for Kyle Pitts. He showed up against Seattle, but we expected that. Will he show up versus Cleveland? But the person that might show up, I know, the person that might show up is Njoku. I believe Njoku's going to show up in this game because they're one of the worst tight end cover teams in the NFL. But they're also not the best at stopping the run, which is the main characteristic of Cleveland. I would argue that stopping Alvin Kamara week 1, not a big deal. Not a big deal. I will argue that stopping Rashad Penny last week, not a big deal. Stopping Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, if that happens, that's a big deal.
They're one of the better teams against the run, believe it or not.
I just named 2 of their 3 opponents and saying not a big deal because I think that stat is a little misleading based upon who they played.
Okay.
But that -1 I'm taking. I think Cleveland should beat Atlanta because that's basically what it is. You got to win a game. You got to win it at least by 1 point. I think Nick Chubb is going to have a pretty daggone good game.
Well, let me ask you this. To get your opinion.
Okay.
I know my opinion already. Do you think do you think Jacoby Brissett is better than you thought?
Because you said that, I don't know if y'all can see that.
What is that?
Something to ease the pain of what I'm about to answer.
I take back everything I did last week. If you answer this right, go ahead.
Right. There is no right or wrong. This is my opinion.
Okay, your opinion. Go ahead.
And I don't care if you take it back. I got it on video. That's going to become part of the video montage I make.
No problem.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, he's not better. He is, I would say this. I think he's gotten, and believe it or not, I think he's gotten better coaching from Kevin Stefanski than he did when he was with Josh McDaniel, than when he was with in Miami, and even when he was in Indianapolis. Wow. I think he has better QB coaching to help him make better decisions. Because if you look at what he's doing, it's what they was asking Baker to do. But Baker got locked in on this player, that player, trying to prove a point. Jacoby's very humble, I will say that. And he might not look like a world beater all game. He might have one or two drives that look like, damn, he's a real NFL quarterback. Is he better than Brian Hoyer, who's starting for New England? Yes.
Is he better? Well, my question is real quick. Let me interject.
Is he better than what I thought?
I
already took a swig.
Is he better than Baker? Because Baker had the same coach.
I will say, now you know what? That's a good point.
He had the same coach.
Man.
And Baker.
Okay, I gotta answer.
Okay. Go. You're gonna skew it, but that's okay. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna skew it. I'm not gonna skew it.
Go ahead.
I think, and I would. This isn't a hard stretch. I think that Jacoby Brissett is a better student of the game than Baker.
Okay.
The reason why I say that is because the lessons that were being taught to Baker, he did not learn on time. The lessons that Jacoby Brissett have been learning, he's doing pretty well. And I had a conversation with an old school sergeant major, and he asked me a similar question, or we were discussing it. If Cleveland's 6-6 or 6-5 when Deshaun comes back, do you take Jacoby Brissett out?
Yes, absolutely. I
finished the question. Can I finish the question he asked?
Go ahead. I thought you just finished.
That was part of it.
Okay.
And then he said, if they are 8-4 or 8-3, because he said 6-6, okay, you put Watson in because they're halfway there. They got to fight to make the playoffs. But if they're 8-3, do you make that switch because of the chemistry change? And you only got 5 games left.
Well, you got to put it like this. I think I forget what week that Deshaun can go back and practice with the team before he can play in a game. And I think that time is going to be able to catch up, regardless of what the record is. So if the record is 8-3, just wait a minute. Just if the record is 8-3, 7-4 or whatever, yeah, you make the change because it was established earlier that Jacoby Brissett is the placeholder because of the suspension. You got a lights out quarterback waiting in the wings. Absolutely, you make that change. Do you think they're going to put Deshaun Watson, the $230 million man, on
He's only making $1 million this year, though.
It don't make a difference. $230 million man on the bench and let Jacoby Brissett take the rest of the season? Not going to happen.
If you have that winning record, and to your point last week, I don't think it was your point. I think it was Sammy's point. Somebody made the point that it might have been Al, that Brissett seemingly has a better chemistry with Amari because we don't know what the chemistry is like with Watson. And I forget, it was a comment somebody made, like Sammy just said, Baker's like a all NFL all-star rookie QB or whatever.
I agree.
Sammy sucks. He's terrible. But that's the thing. If you're 8-3, 7-4, and you're at near the top of that division, because I'm telling you, that's going to be a number 1 or 2 place. Wait a minute. That's going to be a number 1 or 2 place division leader for the AFC North. Look at what's happening. I believe Baltimore's going to lose today. They'll be 2-2, right? Cleveland wins. They're 3-1.
Well, there's no guarantee that. I'm telling you, this is a game to watch. I'm scared of this game because the fact is the Atlanta Falcons are sneaking up on people. Marcus Mariota and the offense, look out. You got to run it.
Patterson is doing what we thought. Well, you thought that Cordero Patterson wasn't going to repeat what he did.
It's not going to last. It's not going to last. I hate to say it.
You said it last year. The same thing. Didn't it last year?
They didn't have a viable running back. They didn't have a viable running back that can take the weight off, and he's 1 year older. It's not going to last. It's not. I'm sorry.
Okay.
If it lasts, I'll be extremely surprised. Because
those are your same words last year. So but you're still acting like you're extremely surprised.
But they had what? Mike Smith. They had
Mike Davis.
Mike Davis, and they had some just the guys in running back. They didn't have really a guy that they could actually put out there and say, you are a running back. Like I think they have Tyler Algier, and they're getting Algier involved more in the offense. I'm telling you, it's not sustainable. He's 31, 32 years old.
So
and being able to take a pounding like that for a tall guy ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Well, he's running Bama's over. He
got
that old man strength. But here's do you think that Cleveland wins this game? And of course, with a 1 point spread, I think it's going to be fine. But the over under in this game, because that's the interesting part to me. The over-under in this game is interesting because Atlanta can score. Cleveland can score too, but
let me put it this way. Cleveland average of scoring is a little over 25 points. Believe it or not, Atlanta's average of scoring over the last 3 games is 23, a little over 23 points. Very close. And against the spread, Atlanta is 3-0. 3-0.
So that says if they keep that up, they're going to win the game.
They scare me. They're 3-0. Cleveland, quite naturally, when they lost to the Jets, they lost the spread. It's 2-1.
Baker never lost to the Jets, by the way. But go ahead.
It happens. Look.
Just go ahead. Go.
Who did Cincinnati lose to? Okay.
They lost to the Cowboys.
Okay. I'm just saying. And they played a really bad game. They weren't really in that game that much, I don't think. Or maybe they were there. Who knows?
No, my man was beat up.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's move on.
This game scares me.
Okay. So this game worries me because the loser is going to be in trouble either way. If Vegas, who is hosting Denver, if Vegas loses, they're 0-4. And of course, Devontae Adams has been quoted saying this is not what he expected, and he's been very disappointed. But you think they've lost games they probably should have won. Denver, on the other hand, they can't seem to get in the end zone.
Is this the game we're going to next?
Yes, we're going to Denver at Vegas.
All over the place. Okay.
You got to look at it and say, well, Russell's got all these weapons. They got a good defense. There's no way these games should be so hectic and close for them. Flip the page to Las Vegas. Same thing. They snatched the jaws of defeat. They snatched defeat from the jaws of a win when they played Arizona. They should have beaten the Chargers game 1 of the season. Didn't happen. What's the spread, Jerry, and the over-under? Because
the spread,
I don't know if we're even going to make that.
The over-under is 45, and the spread is -2, favoring the Raiders.
Because they're at home.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know if they touch that 45. That will require, in my opinion, Denver to finally get in the end zone at least 2 or 3 times.
Well,
they can, but they have not.
Well, let me enlighten you. Let me tell you this. Denver, on average, scores almost 21 points a game. Okay. The Raiders average over the last 3 games 23 points. The Raiders are 3-0 against the spread versus Denver 2-0 against the spread.
Listen, the games I'm watching.
I'm sorry. 1-2 against the spread. I'm sorry.
Who, Denver?
Denver 1-2 against the spread.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna be very honest. I don't like what I'm seeing out of Denver.
I agree.
I don't like the up and down with the running back situation. If Javonte Williams is going to be the guy, let him be the guy. Goal line all the time.
Amen.
Right?
I agree.
If you're going to throw the ball, protect the man, or do different route combinations. Because what I'm seeing is Russ having to pat the ball. Look at this person. Look at it. And I get it's a new offense. I get it. But Russ is going to have to run around. Russ is going to have to run. I really believe he's going to have to make things happen.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
I think Jerry Jeudy, okay. Cortland Sutton is big dude. But what he's missing is that tight end. Because that's where he made his money.
Well, tight end's there. He just hasn't used them. Let me put it this way. Russell Wilson came to Denver mainly because of the pieces, including the offensive line.
Yes, I agree.
And he wasn't expecting to run around like he did, like he was in Seattle, because Seattle had a bum-ass line. Well, he's having to do that. And the fact is the play calling and the use of players, I mean, the coach seems like, I don't know, he's trying to appease everybody instead of just trying to put the players in place to win games. He's trying to appease the players. Okay, you please appease the players. The players want to win. So get a game plan together that's going to put them in a position to win, not make them feel good because I'm in the game. That's what I'm thinking he's trying to do. He's trying to make players feel good by putting me in the game when they shouldn't be in the game. And when you have a stud running back, like I've said this how many times? I hate to say this. We sit and watch TV over and over, plenty of games, and we see what coaches don't do, what they should be doing. They get paid millions of dollars to make decisions to put players in place to win games. We sit on the sidelines and say, why the hell is this player out of the game or not getting the ball when obviously he's one of the better players on the team and can help them win games? I agree with you, man. This running back by committee, the running backs need to get in the flow of the game. Mm-hmm. And when you push them in and out, they can't get in sync with their offensive line. You got a second-year running back that's a stud. And you use him in a committee with a guy that's 30-plus years old. That's on his basically on his last leg. I mean, okay, you give him gimme goal line touches. Okay, you give him gimme goal line touches, and it makes him look good, pump up his numbers. But he ain't all that. I used to love Melvin Gordon. I don't love him now.
So with that being said, I like the Raiders. I know the over under. I know the favorite. Las Vegas, you have got to win this game by hook or by crook. And that's why I said the loser of this game is going to have a whole lot of pressure and press on him. Because Russ and them, let's say they put up 21, but Vegas puts up 28 or 24, 25.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult to say in a division game where everybody's fighting And Kansas City's just doing what Kansas City does, which I didn't believe was going to happen, but we'll see if that will last.
Patrick Mahomes.
Which I have a Patrick Mahomes helmet. If anybody's interested, it's tricked out, beautiful helmet, only $1,000. Come holler at your boy. I think Vegas has to win this game. And that kid Hollins, who stepped in last week when Hunter Renfrow wasn't there, he has a bright future. He has a very bright future.
Not this week.
But, Jesus. But the person they got to get started in Vegas is Josh Jacobs. You got to get him going. You got to. With that being said, as I said, I don't think they're going to cover the spread, the over-under, I should say. But I believe Vegas will win and cover that 2-point spread. What you got?
I told you I like the Raiders in this game.
Okay. Sammy says, you're wrong about Gordon. He'd be starting in many other teams.
No way. I'm telling you, like for the last year, he was okay. Last year he was okay. This season, he's not. Okay. He's 30 plus, and you can see that he just doesn't have it.
So I'm going to tell you right now, Sammy, just to prove your statement as inaccurate, not wrong, just inaccurate. Gort was on the free agent market all summer.
Yep.
All summer.
Yep.
Not one offer.
Nope.
He actually came back to Denver and said he would accept X amount of dollars.
Less money. I think he's getting what, $1 million, maybe $2 million a year,
something like that.
Yeah.
But he went back to Denver. Denver didn't go back after him.
Yep.
So, true, he probably can still play, but will he start for many other teams? No, because he had the opportunity this summer to prove that.
No way.
But let's go on to a game that in the preseason, like early summer, we were like, this easy pick game. But let's talk about these injuries, and let's talk about this team that's on the rise. Jerry's former team, the Houston Texans, they hosting the Chargers. Now, while Jerry looks up the spread and all that, Justin Herbert, bruised, cracked ribs. He should be a mainstay quarterback because he's your stud, according to Jerry last week, regardless. But I noticed somewhere he didn't start him, so he's going against his own advice yet again. But Houston doesn't have a bad defense. But here's the deal. Herbert's injured. Keenan Allen might not play. Your left tackle is gone. You just lost Joey Bosa for 4 weeks on the defense side of the ball. You're on the road against a team that's trying to find their way. They're 0-2-1. But will this be the time they become 1-2-1? JT, what's the spread and the over-under?
All right. Before I do that, Myles Garrett is out for Sunday. Myles Garrett's out.
Thought so.
So just take that even in mind that you got a mobile quarterback in Atlanta, and you lost one of your best pass rushers in the NFL. So I'm just saying. All right, the spread is -5 favoring the Chargers. The over-under is 45, and I'll put these 2 other things in here. Chargers average score over the last 3 games is 26.2. Houston is 20.3. Houston is 2-0-1 against the spread versus the Chargers 2-1 against the spread. And before you go and say who you like, I like the Chargers in a get-right game. I think they blow Houston out.
Okay. I don't think they're going to blow them out. Here's the thing. I don't like all these injuries. Keenan Allen's a game-time decision, right? He's not ruled out yet, but it's trending that way. Austin Eckler finally had a good game because they had to run the ball. They had to run the ball. They lose another receiver. They lose another young receiver. The person that is probably going to benefit the most is Gerald Everett. He was already a target of Herbert. He's probably going to get more targets now. But Mike Williams has got to step up. He had one good game. One good game. Last week, hold up, Jerry did this. That's Mike Williams. Uh-oh. Your boy, Ricky just told me, Keenan Allen is out.
Okay.
So
I got Mike Williams. So okay.
Again, I just said this is what Keenan Allen does. I mean, not Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. And last week was it, will he go up or will he remain? That's the thing here. Houston is not that bad. And I know I've been pushing Nico Collins all summer. And then the last couple games I said, go and get Harris. This might be a Nico Collins breakout game against that wonderful secondary of the Chargers. The Chargers, unfortunately, is one of the worst pass coverage secondaries in the NFL. I know it's only been 3 games. But with all the talent they have on the defensive side of the ball, you would think they were one of the best secondaries. They're not. However, Davis Mills is not that dude throwing the ball. He can be. Last week, Dameon Pierce got loose a little bit. He got loose. He seemed like the back that people were drafting in the 4th round. I don't know if that's going to be sustainable.
Well, I'm not sure about their pass defense, but I know their run defense is hot garbage. I'm talking about the LA Chargers.
Yeah.
I thought that their pass defense was serviceable, but their run defense from last year to this year really hasn't got that much better, and they're a bad run defense. And Dameon Pierce may be able to run on the team, but I still like the Chargers to cover that 5.5.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm not too high on the Chargers on this game. I think Houston gets their first win.
Well, I did tell you that Houston plays better at home, but I don't think that's going to make a difference here. I
don't think because they're at home plays a difference. I think all the injuries the Chargers are facing this week is going to come back to bite them. Because if you're relying on Everett and you're relying on Mr. Cardiac, right? You're going to need Carter, former Washington football team receiver / kick returner, who is a dynamic player. He's going to have to step up. All I care about, what's up, Jabari? What's up, Jabari? Airtight movement band. He's got airtight movement for the undervalued and underprivileged, but now he's got a band. I can imagine it's going to be some Public Enemy type music. I can see that coming right now. Code Red is the first album that's going to drop. I mean, the first one's going to drop. Code Red. These streets need some answers. Anyway, let's go back to what we're talking about. Houston, they're not easy. They're not. They're not. So I'm going to call this a Houston win. They go 1-2-1.
Oh,
in a low-scoring game. Levy's going to get his first W. Low-scoring game. I think Houston's tools are better than the deficiencies currently that the Chargers have. I just think they're hurt all around the corner too much. And your boy playing in percentages, he better start punting that ball. He's giving a punter free money. All right. Let's go on to this. Here's the game I think is going to be the best game of the week. And I think it's going to be an upset. I think Jacksonville going into Philadelphia. Ooh, doggy. Peterson is going to be on one. Peterson's going to be Christian Kirk, ladies and gentlemen. Told you. Even last week when he wasn't the star, Zay Jones was the star. Even though he was not the star, Christian Kirk was still one of the better receiving options last week fantasy-wise.
Discover Epidemic Center. Get the safest.
Can you not play commercials while we're doing the show, please? Thank you.
35,000 tracks and 90,000 sounds.
Jerry.
30-day free trial today.
Can you not play commercials while we're on the show? They're not paying our advertisement. They're not giving us no money. By the way, if you want to donate to the show, upset alert. Okay. All right. I got it. If you want to donate to the show, look at the scroll at the bottom. You can send it Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal. We accept it all. We're trying to get put on. That's all I got to say. But upset alert. Yes, sir. Upset alert.
It's time to buy low. It's so hard walking into week number.
What are you doing?
Ante.
Can you not do this during the show, please? Because tomorrow, I promise you, I'm going to have some sound effects.
Oh,
all right.
Calm down.
Hold on, Tori. My boy Tori got some feedback for. I enjoy this show. Always enjoy Jerry's knowledge since he's the only one here that knows, and he only knows crap because he's old as mess. Hey, not me. Let's finish.
My age is a blessing. I keep telling you that.
I know. You're like 20,000 years old. You're vampire.
That's all right. I'm enjoying every one of them every year. Anyway, let's get back to this. Doug Peterson is taking Sunshine, Mr. Lawrence. My Sunshine. I love it. I love it.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Remember the Titans. Sunshine.
No, yeah. But he's taking that Robinson kid who used it. I don't trust him. No.
He may be balling. I don't trust him the rest of the year. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
You are.
I can't. Well, look, it's only. Look, what did you say in the beginning of the show? It's quarter of the season. So come on, man.
Yeah. Okay. But you're taking Robinson, Kurt, Evan Ingram, who knows this team and who has been pretty good in this system, and that defense. Jacksonville's defense, I'm going to tell you right now, Jacksonville's defense is creating offense.
Yep.
Now, flip side, all this hype about Hurts being an MVP and all this, don't get me wrong. Hurts is balling too. A.J. Brown, you didn't know him because he was in Tennessee. You know him now. Yes. The Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith. I'll just catch 100 yards and a touchdown or two here or there. And they haven't even started running really hard. They ran hard week 1 versus Detroit. All their running backs. I don't know what's going to happen in this game. Jacksonville has a stellar freaking defense, man. Stellar defense.
Besides me watching my team, this is the game I want to watch.
All right, what's the over-under and the spread?
The over-under is 45.5, which I thought was going to be higher.
Yeah, book it. That's my lock of the week. What do they do on NFL Network? Doom. The over is happening in that game.
That's 45.5 is the over and under, and Philly is favored by 6.5.
Take the dog. Jacksonville's going to win this game. Even if they don't win this game, it's going to be a field goal game.
Both teams are 2-1 against the spread. Jacksonville's average score per game is almost 20 points. Philly's average per game is 26, almost 27 points.
I'm not going to go that way. Oh, Tori said he's going to buy. He's asking, should we buy that half point? Look, if Philly wins, they have to win by 7. You buy a half point, they got to win by 8. They're not winning by 8. So I'm not going to waste that extra $30, $40 I could win by buying that half a point. I'm not, but that's just me. I don't think Philly's going to win.
Oh,
first off,
what?
I'm picking Jacksonville. Yes.
Let me put it this way. I'm in 2 other leagues besides the one we're in, and the neighborhood league, which is the one we have on Yahoo. Every of those two other leagues, I have Jalen Hurts.
You need him to win.
I have, no. For the simple fact is, before the season started, I had high expectations for Jalen Hurts, and he's not proving me wrong. He's proving me right so far.
Oh yeah, he was a keeper. So he was my keeper in the TSA league. I made him one of my keepers.
By the way, since you talk about TSA,
oh God,
what is your record in TSA? Both of them, because I know you're in both of them.
I'm 2-1 in one, and I'm 1-2 in the other.
Okay.
The one I'm 1-2 in, it's like just like in Yahoo. I'm running up against the person to get the highest damn score every freaking week. But you know what? Shine your head with them damn tears, you bald old man. But I get it. Yeah, it's no excuses.
No, it's not. It's not who you play; it's when you play them, man.
Duh. All right, so as I said, I'm picking Jacksonville in this game. I think they're going to cover that 6.5, and I think it's going to go over. I just like what Jacksonville has all together. 10? What is that? $10? What?
10 points. I think Philly's going to beat Jacksonville by 10 points.
You want money on that?
I think Jacksonville.
I know. I said, do you want some money on that?
I think they're going to beat them by 10 points.
You think Philly's going to beat Jacksonville by 10 points?
10 points.
Or more?
I didn't say 10 points or more. I just said 10 points.
Okay. Well, I got money saying that they won't beat them by 10 points or more.
I got my thought. I ain't got no money.
Okay.
I got my thought.
Okay. All right. See, even the one that agrees and thinks you're good agrees with me. He likes Jacksonville.
Okay. Who's that? Who is that?
Are you saying, because that's what and Ricky says Philly by 10. Tori.
And got it scores twice.
Yeah. Tori says
that's
Jerry is not a smart guy, Ricky. And you know this. After he dogged you out,
I'm smart enough to kick his ass. Smart enough to kick. If I didn't kick anybody else's ass, I kicked his ass.
But he gave you a comment and you turn around and you treat him like crap. That's how you do. That's how you do, old man.
Well, he just told me I wasn't a smart guy. Okay.
He said Jerry is a smart guy. I'm gonna put it back up here for you.
Okay.
You blind. You are blind.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Try Jesus, not me.
I apologize. I misspoke. You know, I was about to say when he said that Philly wins by 10, I said he knows what he's talking about because one of the things he finally agreed with me. Oh, I agree with him. It doesn't make a difference. We agree with each other by saying Philly's going to win by 10.
Ricky, listen. One of my longest friends. You were on the show in its infancy stage. I need you to come back to the show.
He ain't coming back.
I know you're not coming back.
I don't know why, but he's not coming back.
I need you to come back because
I will welcome him to come back. I
curse Jerry out all the time. I need you to help me curse him out. But I know you too, Ricky. You're going to help Jerry curse me out. I know you are.
Hey, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
You're going to have conundrum every time I'm on his mind.
Yeah, but you can't do it on the chat. You may do it here, but you can't do it on the chat.
Oh, they're going to start coming here to get in your shit. I mean, your stuff. All right, let's move on.
Come on,
you
man.
Picking Philly by 10. I got Jacksonville to win, to cover the spread, and take the over. Let's go to the Kansas City Tampa Bay game. Now,
people, we're trying our best to be a civil program this week.
Oh, yeah, because only one of us acts like a child. I'm just going to say, I got the video to prove it. No.
And let me explain to you.
Oh my God! Can we go to this game?
Let me explain to you. I want to interject this real quick.
Okay.
Week 6 in the FFPC, depending on who has the most points, gets the win. Week 6. Do you know that?
What are you talking about?
In FFPC,
Okay.
the team that has the most wins in week 6 gets an automatic win.
What do you mean?
Just what I said.
Hold on. Who are you yelling at? Calm down.
You're not listening.
What I'm saying is, yeah, like Ricky said, RELAX. Relax. Hey, look, I know I'm at the bottom of the league. I know I am, but I'm coming out of the bottom. So are they going back to the rotisserie style? Meaning the top 6 scores.
What I'm telling you is this: the top 6 scores in week 6 get a win.
Okay, so they're going back to the way it was at the beginning of the season, whereas it's not head-to-head. It's simply the most points scored that week. The top 6 out of the 12 teams get a W. That's easy. I mean, I already know that. I didn't know that they're doing it week 6, but that's how they normally do these things.
Okay, I'm just letting you know. Just letting you know. Points make a difference. Just letting you know.
That's week 6. That's your week. I got week 5. Okay, let's move on. Kansas City at Tampa Bay.
You don't want me to come back on that, but that
we can because
I got something for you.
I got something for you. I got a whole season for you. But let's talk about Tampa Bay and Kansas City.
No problem, because I got a good one for you, but that's okay.
Man, keep that hat on, old man.
That's all right. I'm proud of you at my age. You should get my age.
I'm going to look this sexy at 69.
You should hope you do.
I will.
Okay.
Can we talk about the day they're going to game?
Well, you kept going
on. So here's the deal. Tampa Bay, I don't know who's playing. I'm going to be honest with you. Julio has a questionable designation. We know Godwin's not playing. I think this is going to be a shootout, but then again, it might not be. I will tell you this. I told folks, and I'm going to take it back. I'm going to take it back right now. I said Hardman was going to be the new Tyreek for them. Hardman ain't getting no looks. Not one in Kansas City.
That's right.
Montez Scantling, maybe 1 or 2 looks a game. And I will admit it. I think Jerry and some other people were right when they said Juju's going to be the number 1 guy. But he's not a number 1 guy. But Pat's making him look like a number 1 guy. Another person that we need to look out for, he's not killing it with yards. He's not killing it with touches, but in the red zone, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is getting the touchdowns via the reception. I understand that. I'm with you, JT, but it's a fact. We can't talk about it. So you go to Tampa Bay. The hurricane has already passed through. So they're still going to have the game. They have their own power grid and stuff like that. Tom lost to Aaron Rodgers last week. Is he going to lose to the baby goat this week? What's the over-under and the spread?
The over-under is come on.
See, all that shenanigans
45 and a half. Calm down. And it's even.
It's a pick'em?
It's even.
It's a pick'em. So this is the rematch of the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Let me finish.
I asked over under the spread. So
the KC scores about 23 points a game and is 1-2 against the spread. Tampa Bay 2-1 against the spread, and they score about 24 points a game. But the thing I like about this, or I don't like about this, both these defenses are top defenses. Believe it or not, Kansas City is the top defense. Believe it or not, they're a top defense. And going up against another team that has the top defense, 45 and a half. Just think about that. You got Tom Brady and you got Patrick Mahomes, and the over-under is 45 and a half. I think the last time they played was over 50, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the Super Bowl, and they didn't get close to 50.
So, I don't think they do either. I don't think they get 45 and a half. I think it's going to be under that. I think it's going to be under.
I do as well. I think it's unfortunate that on Tom Brady's last season, they had some good matchups. He's going on his I'm Still the GOAT tour. He already lost the first one versus Aaron Rodgers, who was very happy to win that game. But they won that game by running the rock and then setting up the run with setting up the pass with that run. Now, Aaron Jones didn't do much. Dillon didn't do much. But the threat of them doing it allowed those receivers to get open. Mr. Dobbs, Romeo Dobbs, looked very good. He's wearing Sterling Shepard's number. I don't know if he's going to be Sterling Shepard, but he's wearing the number. And he looks to be probably a guy that Rodgers is going to like. He exposed them. So, Juju, here's what I'm going to say. If Devin White or Winfield puts a good pop on him, you're going to get some alligator arms. You'll get alligator arms. But if they don't, Travis Kelce, he's going to get his. Ooh, this is a tough game for me to call, man. And Tampa Bay's favored by what?
It's even. Nobody favored by anything. It's an even game.
I'm going to say, because it's a home game in Tampa and the humidity is going to be there, especially after the hurricane, I say Tampa wins this game. And it's going to go under.
Well, I agree. There's a great possibility of going under, but I'm going to take PM. I'm going to take the PM. He's playing in the PM, and I think he's going to get the win.
Okay. Ricky has Tampa Bay by 4. Let's move on to the next game. New England goes to Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. State Farm. State Farm.
With a backup quarterback.
Yes. I'm going to tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Vegas took this game off the board.
I can believe it. I can believe it because everybody's jumping on Green Bay. I can believe it.
Yes. This game is not even on the board in Vegas. But what does ESPN have it as, JT?
It is a 9.5-point spread favoring the Packers. And New England averages 16 points a game. That's horrible. Horrible.
It is.
Compared to 23.5 points a game. New England is 0-2-1 against the spread. Green Bay is 2-1 against the spread. Come on, man. This is a no-brainer. This is going to be ugly. They're going up against a backup quarterback, against a good defense in Green Bay. That is going to go up early and depend on Brian Hoyer to bring him back. And with I don't even know if Jacoby Myers, who's their PPR machine, is going to play.
He's questionable, yeah.
So they're going to go with Devontae Parker. I think Devontae Parker showed out last week. They're going to go with who else they have? Nelson Aguilar, I think.
I do, Tori. I do.
So who knows?
I'll tell you a teaser I got going. Go ahead. I'm gonna tell because Tori asked a specific.
I don't think there's any way in all God's creation that the Patriots make this a game. I think this is an Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay Packer easy win. Hopefully they don't just assume that and make it a game and have New England with Matt Patricia calling plays for New England. Come on, man.
Well, okay. I'm glad. Oh, dang! I had a teaser. I'll get a teaser set up for NFL. But Tori asked a specific question about teasing games. I do tease games. And you can't even give me enough points to put on New England in this game. I will tell you, look out for Ramondre Stevenson in this game, though. I think it's going to be a heavy run game for them. It's in Green Bay. So it's not like the weather's going to be a big difference for the two games, but that crowd, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, so to speak, like you said, the backup quarterback. If they can protect, Macaroni Jones, who was like, we need to talk about what happened with Tua too. We need to talk about what happened with Tua because that was very sad. But I don't think Brian Hoyer, whose real name is Axel. His God-given name is Axel Brian Hoyer. I don't think it's going to matter. I'll be honest with you. Only fantasy person I'm playing in that game is Ramondre Stevenson for the Patriots. I'm not touching any of their receivers. I'm not touching the tight ends. I think Hoyer's going to get sacked a lot, though. I think he's going to get sacked a lot if they try to throw the ball. So that's what I got on that one. Are you in the same boat? Oh, Green Bay covers.
Okay, I already spoke my piece. You know, I said Green Bay's going to kill him. So
okay, so you're saying they're going to cover. All right. Tori, hit me up in Messenger, and I'll tell you a teaser that I'm looking at for Sunday's games. Next game. Well, before we go to the next game, let's talk about what happened with Cincinnati and Miami real quick. If you haven't seen the replay by now, if you didn't see it live, yes, his body seized up. His body seized up. That is the sign of a double concussion syndrome and traumatic brain injury. Traumatic. So somebody's spamming us right now. But it's cool. So when you have traumatic brain injuries and your body does that, that's not an easy road to come back from right away. I'm not saying he lost any motor function. I'm not saying he did anything that Tua is going to be on the long road to recovery. But I see a lot of fear happening. Oh, you understand what Ricky was telling you to do?
no.
While you were doing this for Tua, he was saying, tell you to stop before arthritis gets in.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You get to my age, then you can appreciate it. You can make fun of it. It's all right, but it's Arthur is around and raising his ugly head, but it is what it is. It comes with the territory.
Yeah, I can tell y'all some stories about JT. But anyway,
it comes with the territory, man.
Anyway, give me your thoughts about what happened with Tua, and then we'll move on.
I saw the game on Sunday. I saw the play. I saw him when he got up. He started stumbling. I said, "Oh, that's a concussion." And because his teammate came to his aid when he started stumbling the first stumble, and you can see a trainer running out to the field when he started stumbling again. And I said, "Oh, he's done. He's done." Everybody that I had, I was in another chat with some other people, and they say he's done.
But he came back to win that game, which was amazing.
And the fact that it only took less than a half hour for him to come back, I'm saying, what? I've never seen that before. I mean, he was in concussion protocol. I've never seen, let me put it this way. I've never seen someone take hit their head on the ground like that, stumble around, and come back playing. I've never seen that before.
Well,
usually they go on a concussion protocol, and you're out of the game. Plain and simple. Even if you pass, I think they, at the team precaution, they take that guy's helmet away, and he doesn't play the rest of the game.
No, I got it. But the question is, and Tori just said it. I mean, unfortunate situation. Miami was in the wrong for even having him play ridiculous. And here's the deal. But here's the deal. He came back and played that game, won that game, but on a short week, on 3 days, he's playing Cincinnati. Now, that tackle was violent. He snapped his head and neck on the back of the turf, which caused the secondary seizure to take place.
Well, let me put
it also shows, if you look up double concussion syndrome, it's because the brain has not fully recovered from the first concussion.
Well, and what I saw, this is what I saw. I thought, and this is my exact thought, I thought that the first time he hit his head in his Sunday game was more violent of a hit than the time he had it on Thursday. So it did that hit he took Thursday and his head hit the ground didn't look like much, but it was enough to trigger what happened. So, and the fact is that he came back and played. I was surprised they played him.
Well, Thursday he was on the cart. He was on the cart Thursday.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about. You talking about Sunday when he came back, but Thursday
when he came back. I'm sorry, Thursday when he came back.
He didn't come back Thursday. Thursday they put him on.
I'm sorry, Thursday. When I'm talking about coming back to play. That's what I'm talking about.
So Sunday.
Sunday he came back to play.
Yes.
But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, which was the fourth day, he came to play that day, and I couldn't believe they were going to let him play. That's what I meant. He came back to play after playing Sunday. He came back to play on Thursday, which is 4 days. Usually,
So he cleared concussion protocol Sunday. That's why. So
you know what? I was listening to a YouTube program, which had a former player on. He says guys know about the concussion protocol, and they fake their baseline. So if they get a concussion, it doesn't take that much for them to get over a concussion protocol. You follow me? They fake their baseline.
Well, it is what it is. I think that was a very, very bad situation. Two glove Teddy came in, played decently, but I think he's probably going to play for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
He had his ups and downs. I mean, Teddy, that was a typical Teddy game. He had his highs and he had his lows. Teddy, that's how Teddy plays.
So with that being said, Tyreek Hill owners, don't expect that ball to go deep.
He threw it deep.
Mike Gesicki is about to be fed a lot. I understand he threw it deep. I know he threw it deep, but that's not Teddy's game, is my point. That is not. He's checked down to two glove, check down Teddy. So Gesicki about to eat.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see. Let's move on.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. Where are we going now? Because you're all over the board.
We're going to your Jets taking on Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh.
Oh, you trying to go with me. That's all right.
Oh, no. Because you do it every time when you talk about the Cowboys or the Eagles. Vic's favorite team. Try Jesus, not me. Anyway. All right.
You should take your own advice. Turn that shit around and look at it.
Oh, you should too, Mr. Tantrum. I can't wait to edit this video so we can start having opening to this show. But
it was warranted. It was warranted because someone didn't listen. Someone did not listen. You listened and grabbed the logic, you would have realized that you were mistaken. But to say, wait a minute. I'm gonna say this. But
because if you say it, I'm gonna bring up some other stuff.
But to say it's just one game. It doesn't make it different. Oh, yes, it does make it different.
I mean, you're right. It does, because when you go 3-14 on a whole season without talking to your partner, that made a difference. But let's not talk about that.
Wait a minute.
We're done. We're done. Let's talk about the Jets.
Let me tell you something. And I thought about that.
Typical Vic. Typical Vic.
That's typical Vic. Absolutely. Because typical Vic could have said something or interjected last year, but decided not to. Typical Vic,
because JT don't listen.
Typical Vic brings it up this year because of his mistake, and he tried to justify it.
I had no intention of bringing it up until you acted like a petulant child.
Yeah, okay, you can say that. You said I'll be proud of that because I was right. And you, my friend, were wrong, and I was trying to tell you. I was trying to tell you.
I want you to be quiet so we go on with the show.
Yeah, because you can't take it.
You're eating up time with your petulant behavior.
Yeah, okay.
The Jets bring Wilson back. Now, I noticed you put somebody on the bench, and I hope he goes off so I can just dog you out next week.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Look. Don't even go there. See that? Don't even. That's typical Vic. That's typical Vic.
It is. That's
typical Vic. And you're dog wrong because I set down a schedule that we can talk and that we have good communication.
Okay, listen. We'll talk about this afterwards. But
I can't let you get away with that.
Wilson returned. I mean, not Garrett Wilson. Look at me.
Garrett Wilson. Zach Wilson.
He's not returning. Zach Wilson is returning.
Zach Wilson.
Yes. Zach Wilson is returning. And Garrett Wilson, quietly, ladies and gentlemen, has been a very good PPR machine.
With Flacco.
With Flacco. And that's our concern. How will he react or play with Zach Wilson? Now, here's the other part of this. With Pittsburgh's secondary and defense ain't as good as I was thinking it was going to be. I mean, I think Mr. Wilson's both are going to have a field day, especially if
can't play everybody.
If Trubisky, who's taking heat right now, I don't think it's Trubisky's fault, actually. He's taking heat in Pittsburgh right now. I don't think it's his fault. Because they're saying he's not throwing to this person. He's trying to evenly distribute the ball. That's what he's doing. But the main target is Deontay Johnson, who's getting him and Freiermuth up until last week were getting the bulk of the targets. Pickens, a rookie, complaining about getting targets? Well, you better shut your mouth up and learn the game. But
Mike Tomlin's shutting that down.
I know. But the fact that Pickens did it,
you ain't at Alabama anymore, boy.
Nah, he's not. And it caused the team to not look at Pat Freiermuth the majority of last Thursday night's game. Now, Pat Freiermuth ended up having 2 receptions for 41 yards at the end of the game. Just imagine how many catches and receptions you would have had Trubisky kept doing what he was doing over the past few games. Now, that's the thing. Najee Harris, he has a few touchdowns. Quietly, he's having a year, but that offensive line is still garbage. It's at the beginning of the season. I definitely picked Pittsburgh to win this game. However,
why I'm laughing.
Give me the spread and give me the over-under. No, I do not know why you're laughing.
I hear your dog snoring again, man.
They ain't even snoring loud right now.
He's snoring loud because I can hear him.
Well, the microphone I got is a very sensitive microphone.
Oh, God.
And my cat just jumped over my microphone. Hey, look, my cat loves to play fetch, which is crazy.
Well, let me put it this way. Why do you have your animals that are distraction?
Listen, bro, first of all, we're going to get your question.
The line on the game is Pittsburgh favored by 3.5. Okay?
What's over under?
The over under is 41.5. Okay. And the Jets on average score 19 points a game, which is that's not that good.
I think it's going to go over.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers scored 22 points a game.
Yeah, I think this is going over.
The Jets are 2-0 against the spread. No, 1-2. 1-2 against the spread, and Pittsburgh is 1-1 against the spread.
I think the Jets win this game, and I'm taking the over.
Oh, no.
I like, honestly, even though the Jets have only one win this year, I like their competitive nature. Well, I like their ability to win this game more so than Pittsburgh to lose it on, meaning Pittsburgh's going to give their best effort. I don't think their best effort is going to be good enough. And this is where Trubisky's going to get the raw deal. They're at home. And if you saw the preseason, what they did, the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they were calling for Kenny Pickett. When? Trubisky was in the game.
Let me put it.
And now you get the regular season.
Every
pick is getting called.
Fans always don't. If they don't like what the starting quarterback is doing, they all call for the backup. So I take that with a grain of salt. They always call for the backup when they don't like what they see from the starting quarterback. So I don't pay attention. The problem I have is this. I know it's 3.5, and it's the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the Pittsburgh Steelers play better at home, and they play better for their fans at home. And the Jets quarterback, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know who you're going to get. This first game, they played already. The teams already played. Both teams already played 3 games. I'm sorry. This is the 4th game. Garrett Wilson's coming back. So this is pretty much a preseason for him. Let me put it that way. That's how I see it. He's coming back. He made practice over the last week or so, but that's not real life bullets. Now he's coming into this game. You really now he could surprise quite naturally, of course. But this is, to me, a preseason game for him. And because he didn't play a lot of preseason because he's hurt. So what are you going to get? Nobody knows what you're going to get. That's the reason why I didn't want to play the other Wilson. That's the reason why.
Okay, I agree with that. I would say this though. You better be up at 5:30 in the morning to see if Alvin Kamara gets scratched.
Oh, you ain't got to dictate to me. I know.
I'm just saying.
Come on, man. Stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
But moving forward, you're picking Pittsburgh?
I'm taking Pittsburgh, yes. And I think Pittsburgh wins by 3.5.
So they cover? You saying Pittsburgh cover?
I think they cover.
Okay.
This is probably one of the games that if I pick a point spread, I'm not too sure about on this one because the fact is you don't know what you're going to get in Mr. Trubisky, and you really don't know what you're going to get from Zach Wilson in this game. And both of these quarterbacks are going to be relied on to try to win the game for them without a shadow of a doubt.
I agree. Let's move on. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Now, don't let that fool's goal of Ryan Tannehill fool you. It's fool's gold. Okay? Derrick Henry ain't having no issues with his knees or ankles or nothing. Derrick Henry's still balling.
No,
he's not on anyone's injury list.
You don't look at the numbers. Derrick Henry ain't balling. I'm telling you.
What I'm saying is he's playing. He's playing.
Okay.
But wait. A tweet late yesterday kind of upset me. Came from one of your favorite players, JT.
Oh, stop. We're not talking about that. We're talking about Derrick Henry.
Can I finish? I'm talking about the game.
Go ahead.
Talking about the game. Nehemiah Hines says, when are you fans going to get it? We don't care about your fantasy team.
Oh.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Go look at his Twitter page.
That's not a good look.
No, it's not. And everybody's banking on one particular player from that team for their fantasy team. And for Nehemiah Hines to say that, one, is disrespectful. And he had the crying, laughing emojis. It's disrespectful. And it tells me they're probably going to try to throw the ball again. And I understand why they would want to throw the ball against Tennessee. I understand why. But that is not the strength of this team. Indianapolis, the strength of your team is Jonathan Taylor. That's the strength of your team. Michael Pittman in the passing game.
As a compliment.
Yes, as a compliment. Same way with Derrick Henry. Treylon Burks had a decent game last week. Fool's gold. Why did he have a decent game? Because Derrick Henry had a decent game. That's why. That is it. Now,
first decent game of the season.
Oh, I got it. But at the same time, Derrick Henry's gameplay allowed for Treylon Burks to be relevant or any receiving threat in Tennessee to be relevant. Because Austin Hooper, he ain't jack. If you're holding on to him, what's your problem? He ain't getting nothing. He won't be on the team for long, I know.
Well, let me put it this way. I'd rather go with a team that's got a possibility of throwing to a tight end versus any other options that you see on the waiver wire that have no shot of getting any points. That's the problem.
Well, we're not talking about dropping him for another tight end. We're talking about getting a player that is beneficial to you. For instance, and I know we're not talking about this game yet, but New York Giants, is Galladay going to step up? I've seen Galladay on several waiver wires, but or is Brown going? Wait, listen to what I'm saying. Or is Brown the receiver that's going to step up in Sterling Shepard's place to be the receiver?
You talking about Richie James? Not
Richie James. Thank you. I'm thinking. I don't know why I said Brown, but Richie James.
He's from your favorite team, the Cowboys. That's all right.
Yo, Fogey. But that's my point. Why hold on to a bum-ass player that ain't getting nothing when you have a player that's stepping into the role of the number 1, number 2 wide receiver? The points are there. But the point that I'm trying to make is don't get into the mindset of Ryan Tannehill being that type of quarterback to help your fantasy team win with his arm. That's not his game. That's not Tennessee's game. And I understand Indianapolis has Matt Ryan and they want to throw the ball around, but damn it, use the run game. Use that power run game that you have so that it can be easier for Matt Ryan to throw the ball and make these completions. So Nehemiah Hines, you might not care about our fantasy teams, but nobody cares about you except for Jerry in fantasy. Okay? Just going to put it out there. Smoke on that. With your emojis.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but okay, whatever.
No, because you like to talk about Nehemiah Hines. Well, and this is what Ricky says. And I think he might be relevant. He might be, but I think that other kid, James, who got more targets, because even if you look at the end of that game, when Shepard got hurt, they only had 3 snaps that game.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
They only had 3 snaps.
And for those that don't know or may not know, the coaching staff really aren't Galladay fans at all. Not at all. And Galladay pitched the 2 weeks ago because he got benched, if I'm not mistaken, and wanted to get relevant in the game. And last week he was relevant in the game and dropped the wide open pass last game.
Yeah.
That's a fact. He dropped the wide open pass. That was the easy one. And I said to myself when I saw that, that's the reason why they don't want to play him. Because the fact is he's got a lot of mouth but can't produce. And he hasn't produced since he got there. So, of course, this new coaching staff, along with the old coaching staff, don't like him because he doesn't produce. He may be a lot of mouth and getting paid, but he has no production to back it up, even when he gets opportunities.
That's true. This just in, the unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant who evaluated Tua in Sunday's game has been fired for making several mistakes.
Okay. So
that was to be expected.
Okay.
But with that being the case, let's continue talking about Tennessee, Indianapolis.
Well,
Indy needs to win this game. Indy needs to win this game.
This is a must game for Indy. I mean, to gain any kind of relevancy in the AFC South, they got to win this game.
And what's our point spread and what is our
and this is over under is low, 43 points, and Indy's favored by 3.5. And the fact is this: Jacksonville, not Jacksonville, Tennessee scores almost 20 points a game. Indy scores 23 points a game, and Jacksonville is 1-2 against the spread, along with Indianapolis. I mean, Titans are 1-2 against the spread, along with Indianapolis. So both of them aren't too good in covering the spread. But this is a division game, and Indianapolis is playing at home. And to me, my 3.5 is too much. To me, it's a toss-up. This is a toss-up game for me.
I can agree with you. I think it's a pick'em game as well. Ricky just said, don't players need to develop? What you said, JT.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. But in the Galladay situation, we'll talk about Galladay when we get to the Giants game. But in that situation, Brian Daboll in the preseason said, because he was asked about Galladay, and he said, that's a question we'd have to talk to the GM about.
Mm-hmm.
That right there tells me he wanted to cut him.
Yep.
In the preseason.
Yep.
There was no developing because it was no chemistry to develop. Daboll wanted him gone. But we'll talk about that when we get there.
I think he may be a cancer in the locker room too. I think
Possibly. Possibly.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pick Indianapolis.
Okay.
And because now the team really excels at getting the end zone, I say it'll hit the under. I think it will. Let's move on to week 4, Arizona at Carolina. The OU products face each other. Here's the thing. And I was surprised when I saw the stat. Marquise Brown is the number 3 ranked receiver in fantasy as far as receptions go. I didn't know that because every time I look at Hollywood, he's dropping the ball. But he's number 3 and he's ranked in the top 5. Zach Ertz is definitely a top tier tight end, always with some type of designation though, so it hurts your fantasy value. But you flip to the other side. Since we're talking about hurt. Since we're talking about hurt, week 4. There's a real possibility. There's a real possibility.
You don't even know what I'm laughing at.
I know. But because you hear my dog. You hear my dog
snoring, yeah.
There's a real possibility that CMC don't play.
It's questionable. He's questionable.
Highly questionable.
Not again. He's questionable. He had limited practice on Friday, and he's questionable,
which makes him highly questionable. If you have limited practice.
Out of maybe the top 3 picks in the draft, he's been the most reliable. Believe it or not.
No.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp has been very reliable. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I meant the running backs. Let me put it that
way.
Well,
you didn't say running. You said the top 3.
Oh, you're right. Right. Well, you're right. And I misspoke. The top 3 running backs in most fantasy drafts, he's been the most reliable.
That's true, but he's not going to play. So
you don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know that.
I don't. But his history says he's not going to play. So
you don't know that. It's just one game.
What's the over/under and the point spread?
The over/under is 43.5, and basically
I'm taking that over.
And basically it's a -1 favoring the Panthers, and Arizona scores about 21 points a game, 20.8, and Carolina scores about 22 points a game, 21.9. Carolina is 1-2 against the spread, and so is Arizona. This is 2 quarterbacks from OU that are very inconsistent. One more than the other.
Bias.
No, one more than the other, and you can't deny this because it's on the field.
Listen, can we just pick the game and not talk about their college?
I'm picking the game. I'm talking about the game.
Okay. All right.
Come on, stop.
It sounds like you're talking about their college career.
No.
Okay.
I'm talking about their pro careers right now. The first three games of the season, they've been very inconsistent in play. Henceforth, that's why both of these teams are 1-2. Both these teams need a win. Who's going to step up in the quarterback position to lead their team to a win? That's why the spread is only 1, because the team is not that good, including their quarterbacks. Come on, man. I'm only taking this. I'm taking it just like I see it. 1-2. That's both their records.
Okay, we can get off of that. And who you picking?
Do you want me to get?
Who you picking? Who you picking?
I'm not picking anybody. I don't like this game. This is going to be a very ugly game.
Hold on. You have got to pick a game. Are you going to say it's a tie? Are you saying it's a tie then?
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I need you to make a definitive answer.
Okay. You know what? When push comes to shove, this is what I normally do. Push comes to shove, I'll take the home team. So I'll take
Baker.
I'll take the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, so you're side with Baker? Okay. That's all you had to say.
I just told you why. I just told you my reasoning.
That's fine. That's fine.
In a close game.
I'm not knocking your reasoning.
Now you're trying to dismiss it, but that's okay.
No, I'm not dismissing it. I said you're taking Baker. That's all. Okay.
No, I'm not taking Baker. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers,
which is led by Baker. So you're taking Baker.
I'm
now,
taking Carolina
Arizona.
Arizona offense been dysfunctional too. So
Arizona does have a dysfunctional offense. However, I like the fact that James Conner is no longer probable or questionable. He is G to G. The problem I see, though, is he's not getting the most touches out of that backfield. Eno Benjamin and Darrell Williams are. Conner is pretty much the receiving back. Couple more weeks, Hopkins returns. They need him because Dortch is making AJ Green look like, why the hell we got you, old man? Marquise, I know he's a top 5 fantasy receiver in receptions right now, but he drops a lot of balls. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I don't know. But Kyler Murray finds a way to win. What are you laughing now?
Ricky's funny.
Like your fantasy record?
That's all right. Hey, I'm satisfied with the one win.
I'm not even gonna post the comment. That's
all right. I'm satisfied with the one win I got from the mouth from the DC. I shut his mouth. That's all I care about.
Y'all play again. Y'all play again.
That's all right. And I'll shut his mouth again. That's all right.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to take Arizona. All right, let's move on. Excuse me. We already talked about Atlanta and Cleveland. Chicago. Now we can talk about the Giants.
Oh, God. This
goes with Ricky was saying.
A horrible game.
Look, I didn't make the schedule. I didn't say you did. One team. You have one team that has thrown a total of 28 passes in 3 games.
In 3 games.
And they lost their starting running back. So Khalil Herbert is the starting running back for Chicago this upcoming Sunday. And they don't throw the ball? The Giants have a pretty decent defense, but they also lost their leading receiver in Sterling Shepard. This is where Ricky's comment about Galladay being relevant comes to play. He can only be relevant, Rick, is if Dayball plays him.
Yep.
That's the only way. I do believe that Saquon Barkley is going to be continue his revenge tour, because remember, he nor Daniel Jones had their 5th-year option picked up. Neither. So Saquon's not going to be in New York after this year.
You don't think so?
Even if they franchise tag him, I don't think he's going to be there.
Really? Okay.
I don't. I think he's going to go to a team who might need a running back, such as Baltimore if J.K. Dobbins doesn't turn around. But let's not talk about future stuff. Let's talk about this game.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears at New York Giants. It's got to be some low spread, and it's got to be in favor of the Giants.
Okay.
What is that information, JT?
The over-under is 39. The Giants are favored by 3 points.
Okay.
This is probably one of the lowest ones. I'm not sure exactly if they're the lowest, but they're close to it. Chicago, on average, scores about 18 points a game. Giants score about 21 points a game. So I'm taking the Giants. You got a team that doesn't throw the football, has thrown it 28 times in 3 games. Come on. You believe that? Yeah. Do you? I can't believe that. That's beyond me. You got teams that throw the ball in one game more than 28 times.
But here's the thing. After you look at what the Cowboys did versus that secondary, you might or you should consider throwing the ball around, especially since your starting running back isn't playing.
Well, let me put it this way. If you've only thrown the ball 28 times, what continuity do you have with your tight end or wide receivers?
Not much.
Not much. Exactly. Exactly.
I agree. Listen, I agree with you. I agree with your entire analysis of the team, of the lineup, and I believe it's going to be under. Also believe the Giants can win by 3. I totally agree. So let's move on. All right, Rick, I'm going to need your support on this one.
Oh, boy. The Washington Commanders at the Philly. I mean, not when Commanders are playing who?
Dallas.
Oh, one of your favorite teams.
So okay. Keep playing. Old man, keep playing. Keep playing, old man. Keep playing. So,
and you want to know what the over under? You were quick to say after the other games. You want to know what the over under is? Over under 40. I'm ready to tell you this one: 41.5, which is low. And Dallas is favored by 3 points.
Okay.
And this is Washington on average scores 18.5 points a game. Dallas scores on average 121.9, which is about 22 points. Washington is 1-2 against the spread. Dallas is 2-1 against the spread.
So here's what I'm gonna say.
Who you picking?
Here's what I'm gonna say. If you are into prop bets, if you're into prop betting, Micah Parsons is gonna have about 3 or 4 sacks.
Okay.
Bet it. Just bet it. 3 or 4 sacks. Washington has given up on average 6 sacks out of the first 3 games. And actually, I think it's 7. I think it's 7 sacks. They gave up 10 last week. They gave up 8 or 9 the week before. And week 1, they gave up 7. So, yeah. The only saving grace is Antonio Gibson has been a Cowboy killer throughout his career. Let me see what Ricky got to say. But I need some support. Hopefully, Ricky. No support for the commander. Commander here.
Wow.
My team has retired. All right, Rick. Okay.
Wow.
Solo dolo.
Commanders. Come on,
dolo,
man.
solo, whatever they say.
Commanders.
Listen.
I hear you, Rick. Commanders. Come on, man.
Here's the thing. Cooper Rush should not beat us, but Cooper Rush is probably going to beat us.
He didn't look too bad.
I know.
He looked better than Carson.
But don't you start Carson on your team, or did you just drop him?
Oh no! You know
I know you took that L last week.
Let me put it this way. This is how bad I think Carson Wentz is. I took Carson Wentz and pushed him to the curb, and I grabbed Geno Smith.
I saw that. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
I was going to bring that up. Look, man.
And hence, and let me. And I'm gonna say it right now. I'm saying with a straight face. I'm serious about this. Do we put in Terry McLaurin or Garrett Wilson?
Put them both in, especially if Alvin Kamara is not playing.
Well, let me put it this way:
you keep McLaurin in, just like with the issues that Amari Cooper's having with Brissett.
He had no issues. He scored 24 points in the last 2 games.
Can you be quiet?
No issues.
Hey, silence.
Hey, no.
I'm trying to tell you something, but you keep talking.
What kind of
just
issues?
like game 1, where Cooper was having issues with Brissett, and he was pouting and stuff. Now Terry didn't pout out in public. He did not pout out in public, but the reports came out because Brian Mitchell, during their post game, had said, how do you as a quarterback or a game caller get your star receiver activated in the game in the third quarter? Why is he not getting the ball in the first quarter?
Right.
So.
And what was the answer?
There was no answer because Brian Mitchell was venting about it, but it came up. It came up during the coaches stuff. And it was like, we're trying to get Terry involved early and often. It doesn't always work out that way. Well, this is a game where Trayvon Diggs is susceptible to getting beat.
Okay.
So I expect Dotson to have a good game. I expect McLaurin to have a good game. Gibson to have a good game. But I don't know if it's going to be good enough to beat these Cowboys.
Well,
even with Cooper Rush.
Let me ask you a serious question here. This is a serious question. Yeah, I like Geno over Carson Wentz. Absolutely. Anyway, going forward, how much confidence do you have in Scary Terry?
Oh, all the confidence in the world. He's the best receiver we have on our team. But if you're talking about in general, I have a bunch of confidence in Scary Terry. What I don't have the confidence in is Scott Turner's play calling, which I'm not going to say I don't have the confidence in his play calling. I'm going to say Carson Wentz deciding to throw the ball to Terry when he should in the first half, because he's averaging like 1 or 2 targets a game in the first half. Okay. I think that needs to change. I believe it's going to change, especially him going against.
How long? Let me put it this way: how long are you willing to go?
All season.
Oh, come on, man! Stop,
yes.
Victor. Stop.
All season.
Stop.
All season long.
Stop.
And the reason why I say that is because, and I'm using your own words against you. Your own words. You don't sit your studs. He's your number one.
I said
your number one.
I said before the season that I don't have too much confidence in Terry.
Okay,
I said that.
That's fine. But I do.
Not a stud. He's not a stud anymore. He's not a stud anymore.
He is a stud. He is a stud.
He's not in your eyes because you're looking at
Jerry Taylor.
Eyes.
Jerry Taylor.
We got a stud anymore
on Blog Talk Radio, and he's a stud. If you look at our team,
he's not a stud anymore, man.
Jerry. We're talking about our team. We ain't talking about overall NFL. We're talking about our team. On our team,
and he's part of our team.
Stud. He's a stud on our team.
I told you.
Moving forward,
he's going to be inconsistent. You're very stubborn about this.
Jerry,
he's inconsistent. He's very inconsistent.
Stop. Just stop.
Stop. He is inconsistent.
Jerry, we're talking about
our team.
We're not talking about our team right now. That's not what the show's about.
He's part of our team.
Jerry.
He's part of our team, Victor.
Stop. I'm trying to talk about the game. I'm trying to talk about the game. You keep going on. That's not what we're doing. We're talking about the game. Now, Terry is a good matchup against Trayvon Diggs and his defense. Now, do I think Washington can beat them? As I said, I don't think they're going to beat them. The spread is 3. I believe the over-under is an over. Because Washington likes to give up big plays. They like to give up big plays. And CeeDee Lamb is finding his footwork and his hands again against or with Cooper Rush. I'm not saying this because Cooper throws a better ball than Dak Prescott, but for whatever reason, he's catching the ball and he's getting looked at. They meaning the Cowboys, have found a happy medium with Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. This, and one person that I haven't seen, which kind of is like, why? Dalton Schultz. Schultz has been a disappearing act. But I think he's going to get found this game. I got to pick the Cowboys, even though I love my team. I got to pick the Cowboys. And I got to say, I don't know if they're going to cover the spread, which is 3, but I believe the over-under is going to hit. I think the over is going to hit. All right. What you got on the game?
I'm picking Dallas, without a doubt.
All right. Moving on. Let's go with Detroit at Seattle, since you love – Seattle goes to Detroit. Now, here's the deal. This might be a week to play Geno. This definitely might be a week to play Geno. Detroit has one of the worst or the worst stats in the passing game. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I do not know how long he's out. We know. Just don't know how long he's out. That was a question earlier that was asked. How long is he out? I don't know.
Swift is out.
But yes, Swift is out. And Jamal Williams is going to get that workload. He's been getting it anyway, but it's going to be him and Reynolds. Speaking of Reynolds, the other Reynolds, wide receiver Reynolds, now is that number 1 threat for not Matthew Stafford. What's his name? Goff. I expect TJ Hawkinson to have a good game. I really do. The tight end versus Seattle eats. Flip it over. DK Metcalf should have a good game too, especially since Detroit can't cover anybody. But they can score. So that's the dichotomy here. Do you play Geno Smith for the matchup? Jerry is. I wouldn't, but Jerry has. He told you he's doing it. Over under is what? Spread is what?
Over under is 48. The spread is -3.5, favoring the Detroit Lions. On average, the Seattle Seahawks scored 22 points a game. 25 points a game is what Detroit scores. Seattle is 1-2 against the spread. Detroit is undefeated against the spread, 3-0.
I'm picking Detroit.
I'm picking Detroit too. And I just want to tell you this.
I agree with it. I agree with what Ricky just said. The rest is gonna hurt Geno because Geno isn't as mobile as he used to be.
Okay. Anyway, who did Detroit play last week?
Last week, Detroit played Minnesota and almost won the game.
And who got shut down in that game? Who got shut down in that game? Come on.
First of all, I don't know.
Bring it out. Justin, you made a point that DK going to eat in this game. I don't think so because Jeff Okudah shut down Justin Jefferson, and
he did.
And the fact is this: I think it happens again.
I don't know, because even if, okay, let's say DK gets shut down, that means Tyler Lockett is going to eat. Tyler Lockett is going to eat because Detroit has the worst pass secondary in the NFL. I don't know what you're swimming. Are you swimming in the water?
This is Tyler Lockett. This is Tyler
Okay,
Lockett.
well, you know what? He's going to be up on a wave today.
Yeah. Okay.
He's going to be up on a wave today. And Ricky says Metcalf is too big. Hey,
okay.
I don't know. Metcalf is big and he's fast, but Geno's throwing him the ball. That's my concern.
Jeff Okudah is a very good DB that he's underrated.
He is. But again, I'm picking Detroit on the strength of the run game. I like Detroit overall. Their offense is dynamic. The pass rush is going to get to Geno. I definitely agree. Aiden is going to get to him.
Detroit is in the top 5 for scoring offenses. I don't know, many people know that, but Detroit is in the top 5 of scoring offenses.
So with that being said, I definitely think Detroit's going to pull it out, and I think this is going to go over. I think Detroit averages close as 26 points a game?
25 points a game.
25 points a game. Geno can muster up 14 to 20. Yeah, this is going over. But yeah, I'm picking Detroit. Who you got?
I got Detroit.
All right, let's go on to the next game. Rams at San Francisco. That's the Monday night game. Look, as I said in the summer, if Lance is playing, no chance. But with Jimmy G playing, there's a chance. I'm not sure I would have played their defense this week, the Rams, that is. But, when you don't have that many options to choose from, they got good matchups, you go with what you got, right? And when you go with what you got, Jalen Ramsey and Debo, that's going to be a good matchup. Bobby Wagner and whoever the running back is, good matchup. Here's the part that's going to kill him. Who's covering George Kittle? Who's covering George Kittle? I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, and they're in San Francisco, LA, San Fran. Okay, distance, I got it, but Levi Stadium is different. It's a little different. I got to go with San Francisco in this game.
Okay.
What's the over-under and the spread?
Over-under 42.5. San Francisco favored by 1.5. The Rams average a little more than 20 points a game, 20.6. San Francisco, surprising, or average 22.3 points a game. The Rams are 1-2 against the spread, and so is San Francisco, 1-2 against the spread.
Cooper Kupp's going to eat. Allen Robinson, I think he's like that cardiac kid, like Jerry was doing. But here's the problem that I have with the Rams. Why are you continually trying to give Cam Akers the ball? It's very clear that Henderson is your best running back option.
Yep.
But for whatever reason, McVay wants to get Akers the ball. It's going to hurt you guys. It's going to hurt you guys. For this reason and the fact that I don't know who's going to cover George Kittle, I got to go with San Francisco. I like Jimmy G in this game. I do.
Okay.
What you got?
Anything else? I already told you I like.
All right. Next game, we're going to talk about that. San
Wait a
Francisco.
minute. Whoa.
What?
I like the Rams in this game. I got to backtrack. I like the Rams in this game.
Okay, why do you like the Rams in this game?
I think they got a better offense. I think they got they're more explosive, and they have the defense. Jimmy G in a crucial spot will always turn the ball over. He's proven that time in and time out. I like the Rams.
Okay, well, Jeff Wilson may or may not play. I don't know who the running back is, but Debo's going to run the rock a little bit. So I just like San Francisco.
Okay.
For that matchup. Last game we're going to talk about, because the last game on the schedule, but it's the first game happening. And this is where you're going to get your fantasy fix from JT. As promised, New Orleans and Minnesota traveled over to London. Jolly old England, spot of tea. Now, here's the question. We already know can't guard Mike Thomas out. Jameis Winston might not play. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, has been put in. I would have picked up Andy Dalton over Geno myself. That's just me. Oh, Ricky saying Marlon Mack. Well, let me bring it up. We don't know if Alvin's going to play. Don't know yet. Chris Olave had his best game of the year as a rookie, 142 yards receiving, because can't guard Mike, couldn't play. Juice Landry might have a good game. But there are too many questions on that New Orleans Saints side for me. Just for me. Let's go over to Minnesota. The big ticket of that offense is skewing in the wrong direction. And I'm not talking about Justin Jefferson. I'm talking about Mr. Cook with a partially
he's playing. He's
okay.
Not trending in the wrong direction. He's playing.
Well, last I checked, they were saying he may not play.
No, he's playing.
Cook, with a dislocated shoulder, partial dislocation of the shoulder. Last time he did it, he had a harness and he went off. That was last year. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you know who your boy Kirk Cousins found last week? Adam Thielen. Stuck on the Thielen. Irv Smith, keep dropping balls wearing Randy Moss number. You're going to change numbers quick. But I think this is also a game where Lattimore locks up Justin Jefferson. I do. But it's a 6:30 in the morning East Coast time game. Kirk Cousins does well in the morning time.
It's 9:30 in the morning. What are you talking about?
Oh, West Coast, 6:30 in the morning, West Coast time. West Coast time. So we'll see what happens. But I got to go with Minnesota. What is the point spread and what's the over-under? Spread and over-under.
Hold on. Let me get to the game.
Oh, he said Kelly Osborne. He's saying Kelly Osborne. Okay.
I like it. I like KJ Osborne. But I don't think this game. The over-under is 41.5. The point spread is favoring the Vikings -3. Vikings average 22 points a game. The Saints average 19 points a game. The Saints are 0-3-0 against the spread. The Vikings are 1-2 against the spread.
I like the Vikings to cover this. There's too many questions. Too many questions going on offensively with New Orleans for me. Too many. Now, if Andy Dalton ends up playing, we know it's not going to be too many deep balls. We know that, right? So does that kind of eliminate Chris Olave a little bit? Because that's his forte. Deep ball passing or deep ball receiving. He's not a slant guy. He's not a end guy. But Juice does that stuff. Also, does Taysom Hill get a little bit more juice now? I have no idea. But that's the problem. I have no idea. So I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm taking the spread with Minnesota. And that's all I can tell you on that. Who are you taking, JT?
I am taking Minnesota. You're up in the air about what quarterback's going to play. They do have a good defense, meaning New Orleans. Kirk Cousins, in my imagination, I think Kirk Cousins is probably going to get sacked 4 times in this game. I was picking about 4 times in this game that Kirk Cousins gets sacked. But I think, despite those sacks, I think Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings win this game. Am I taking a point spread? Backup quarterback? Ooh. If Jameis doesn't play, I'll take the Saints to cover. If Jameis does not play, I'll take the Vikings and the points. And the fact is, and also I want to talk about playing Alvin Kamara. You play Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara plays, you play Alvin Kamara.
Of course, if he plays. Of course, if he plays, but there's a chance he might not play.
Well, let me put it this way. Alvin Kamara has gotten the last 3 games single digits. Hasn't been Alvin Kamara. He's had single digits. Some people may be skeptical.
He's a stud. He's a stud.
I understand that. Let me finish. But he's a stud. And you think that sooner or later he's going to get going, and sooner or later, you're going to play Alvin Kamara. You got to play Alvin Kamara, and cross your fingers and hopefully he does his thing. I'm crossing my fingers. You better be crossing your fingers, Alvin Kamara. If he's playing, we got to hope that Andy Dalton, who likes to dump the ball off, gives Alvin Kamara the chance to shine.
Here's the thing.
All I want from Alvin Kamara is to get in the double digits. Give me 12, 13 fantasy points, and I got to be happy with that because the offense is suffering if Andy Dalton is the quarterback.
Yeah, I got you. Listen, you can say this with any fantasy player. This goes back to your question about Terry McLaurin. Same deal. Single digits, but you're praying and hoping that he can get you double digits. Well, I mean, last week he got you single digits, but the previous 2 weeks he was in double digits, about 14, 15 points. So it's not like he's not producing. It's just not on the scale that you would want. Same thing with Alvin Kamara. He's not producing, but he's that back. If he's healthy, you got to say, man, I just can't put him on the bench for, Marlon Mack, like Ricky put up. That makes no sense. If there's a chance he's going to play and he's playing, you play him. But when you find out he's not playing, have your backup plan already in place. This, ladies and gentlemen, goes back to
let me put it this way.
Wait a minute. This goes back to drafting. If you draft players, whether you've got 2 or 3 studs at that position, get another. You never know what's going to happen. And I'm not dogging you out, Jerry, because I know this is your draft strategy. But for the life of me, I don't understand why people don't get insurance on their quarterbacks. Why not? Because you never know. You don't need to get a stud and a stud, but you need to get a stud and somebody that's not a dud. Otherwise, you're going on the waiver wire, streaming one of the most important positions on your team. And with that being said, I'm going to let you know what you're going to say, and I'm going to close this out because I got to talk to Disney and Sling again before we get off air. What you got?
Okay. Tune in tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Master Plan. I'll be talking about the starts and sits, who I like in the matchups coming up tomorrow and including Monday.
Okay. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, next week is October the 8th. October 8th. We will be live again. I'm hoping. But here's the thing. If you are a Sling subscriber, I don't know how you get your TV, people. How do you get your live TV? Whether it's through a Fire Stick, whether it's through an app, or whatever. Disney and Sling, they're not partnering right now. As of October 1st, that contract has dissolved. What does that mean for those that don't really care about Disney? Well, that means you get no ESPN products at all. For your kids, they get no Nickelodeon or anything like that until the contract is resolved. So Monday Night Football, bye. For people like me that use Sling, unless I use another service, which I have, all the things, TV has become extremely expensive. I said this at the top of the show. You went from having, in my day, in Jerry's day, only probably had like 2 channels, but in my day, in Ricky's day, we had like 6 or 7 channels. Then we got cable. You had choices. Cable evolved to satellite TV. Multiple choices. Massive choices. And now we're in the app age. I would like to say Jerry did me a solid by, and I stubbornly went to a streaming service, and I'm able to see things. Ricky says, remember Disney did the same with YouTube and later struck a deal. So don't be too worried. Oh, I know. I know, Ricky. I know. But here's the thing that I really want to jump on. Sling TV and anybody else that holds any Disney products, do not let the contract run out during football season. College? No, I'm serious. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
College football and NFL football is the highest rated time that they have viewers because they own the contracts. Now, the problem with it expiring at this point, who has the leverage? Not Sling, but Disney. Because they're banking on people willing to pay whatever it is as an add-on to that service so they can get their college football fix. The SEC network, ACC network, anything. Right now, I've been watching Fox's product, which is Big Noon Saturday. It's pretty good. But I tell you what, every Saturday morning during college football season, I wake up early. I make a point to watch College Game Day. I love it. I love the atmosphere. I love the college football atmosphere. But that's what Disney's banking on. They could care less if we want to see Pinocchio or anything like that. They know we are football sponges. So anybody that has, or any company that has a Disney product, let your contract end during baseball season. So that's around March, April timeframe. Why? Disney will not have the leverage because Turner owns the rights for college basketball, for baseball. You know what's happening on ESPN? The Johnsonville cornhole tournaments. Now, I like cornhole. I like it. But I'm not tuning into ESPN for cornhole. I'm just saying. I'm going to get off my soapbox. Ricky has something he want to say real quick. Don't hate on Pinocchio. I'm not hating on Pinocchio. I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm going to watch the live version later on today. But if you are interested in getting a customized Patrick Mahomes speed authentic helmet, it's a banger. It's $1,000 though. How about a Drew Brees San Diego Chargers customized sweet helmet? I got him. You want to? I know Jerry wants a Darryl Strawberry World Series baseball from his New York Mets. Did he go to the World Series with the Mets, or did he go to the World Series? Yeah, he went with the Mets.
86.
He didn't make it with the Yankees, though. He didn't win with the Yankees.
He won with the Mets in 86.
Yes. Got an official 86 Mets baseball signed by Darryl Strawberry from the World Series. Got that, too. How about John Smoltz, Andrew Jones? Frank Thomas, maybe. Mr. FSP has whatever it is you need. I'm your brother. Hold on. I was about to do I'm your pusher man.
You're in the Superfly. Jesus Christ.
Excuse me. I know it's Superfly, but it goes, I'm in the alley. I'm the one who you need to, your true boy to succeed. I'm your pusher man. I'm your pusher. I know I'm taking you back to when you were like 20, but it's okay. It's okay because you were like a baby in 1853. But
you just hope you can get to where I'm at. That's all. You just hope where I'm at. I got 20 years on you. You just hope.
I'm gonna live another 20.
Okay.
I'm gonna live another goddamn on 40, 50 for real.
Okay.
Now, will I be this scrumptious in 40, 50 years? Maybe not as scrumptious, but you know what? Try Jesus, not me. All right. With that being said, I want to thank JT for coming on the show as usual, as my co-host, not being belligerent. So I'm thankful for that. I want to thank Ricky, Al, Tori, and anybody else that made a comment or partook in the shenanigans of the show. We're here, man. If you want to make a donation, write down your cash at me, Venmo me, PayPal me. We got to keep the lights on, y'all. That way I can afford to have my man cave and not my dogs in it. So Jerry won't be bothered by my snoring dogs. But
he's snoring right now.
Yeah, he is. But I found if I rub his belly, he does a little kick with his leg and he stops snoring. So I'm gonna try it right now, see if it happens. See, it worked. He stopped snoring. But anyway, with that being said,
and you're proud of yourself too. Okay,
I am. Anyway, tomorrow the master plan is going to be on YouTube per usual, no longer on Blog Talk Radio. So I get to chime in on that. But tell the people where on YouTube, Jerry, because obviously you don't know how to advertise your own stuff.
Jerry Taylor presents the master plan.
All right. So that's how they look you up on YouTube.
Jerry Taylor presents the master plan.
All right. You heard it here. Fair and square. With that being said, I want to thank everybody. Hold on. Jesus don't like ugly. He gave you that shirt for a reason. That's right, because I ain't ugly. I ain't ugly, you big bald-headed.
Wow. I love that one. That was good.
Whatever. That's my boy. Anyway, let me go back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
About to close out this show. And since I close out the show, I haven't played this. Well, I'm not going to play it because then it would be stupid to play it at the end of the show. But this is what Jerry likes to say because he has a problem. He has a power problem.
I don't have a problem with people. Never did, never will.
Wait. Whose voice is this?
I don't know. I can't hear anything. I didn't hear anything.
You're lying.
No.
What?
Why do you gotta say that?
You're not. Well, you should be able to hear it on Blog Talk. I mean,
no.
On StreamYard because it's playing through the computer.
Nope. Didn't hear it.
That tells me you did hear it the way you said it. That tells me exactly how.
I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear anything. I know what you're playing. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. But I didn't hear it.
Well, with that being said, thank y'all because he needs his hearing aids. We out.
What are you playing? I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. My sister doesn't hear anything.
Not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube. You're playing in silence. It's nothing happening here. Okay.